So the first step to correct your status would be, I would create something called a non-taxpayer affidavit, or even something called political status correction. Correct your name for the record. When your name was created on a birth certificate, they think they own this, so you have to learn how to create it in a private trust. The Social Security number is a trust. If you look it up, Social Security Trust Administration. It's a public administration. You have to learn how to create your private administration. So you can start with a church, or even a tribe. You can correct your status with a tribe, a church. It's called the Shahada with Muslims. I'm not sure what it's called with Jewish people, but they all undergo a status change. In the Christian community, it's called being baptized. So your baptismal certificate can be also correct your status, and you can use this to identify in the public. Everybody go to onlyfans.com/Don Kilam. That's onlyfans.com/Don Kilam. That's DonKilam. You can subscribe there and get access to Don Kilam University at donkilam.com. You can also follow me on the Instagram at DON_KILAM. Again, that's DON_KILAM. Much peace and love. Peace and love. It's your boy, Don Kilam. I'm in the building in Orlando, Florida with the Gifted Guardians, with Jason Mabe, all the way from North Carolina, man. He drove down here. And we're going to bring you a spectacular podcast today, talking about what we do, protecting generational dreams.
That's right. We're here to talk about estate planning, how to protect your assets, and how to protect your family assets. And let's let Don tell us a little bit how he got started into all this.
Well, I was homeless under a bridge starting off. And I said, I'm a man. So I have to learn to walk by faith, not by sight. I led myself here. And since that belief, like, I declared this, I had like a sit down with myself. You know, we believe in the power of affirmations, the spoken word, abracadabra, we create what we speak. And I started learning business credit. I started learning about personal credit, business finances. I've already was led to certain information through the Moors and the Hebrew Israelites and all these different groups, you know, some of the groups that you actually say you learn from.
Oh, yeah.
And I just never looked back ever since. Like, I already got myself out before I was homeless, I got myself out of the federal penitentiary with this information. By understanding that the name is a business and everything is a tax issue.
Oh, yeah. I get it.
So, what led you to Don Kilam? What led us together, man?
Well, it's probably, a year and a half, maybe 2 years ago. You know, I saw some of your videos and stuff online. So I started listening to a lot of stuff that you were saying and looking the information up. And, of course, all of it lined up and was accurate. And I know a lot of it was structured around structuring businesses. And, of course, I was already running a business, so I started looking into it and, you know, started to learn about, you know, how I never made my name a business and really structured things properly to protect my assets. And, of course, I just started listening to some of your information and studying it.
So, understanding that you was already looking for something that led you to me, what was it that you was looking for?
I was looking for financial freedom like most people are. You know, I had a business, but I really owned a job. I wasn't really running the business the way that I guess I thought that it should be, because it always seemed like no matter what you did, it was still a little bit of a struggle to stay on top. Wasn't quite working paycheck to paycheck, but not much different. So I started looking at how the businesses were structured, and then I started to learn more about estate planning and how to structure your all your family affairs and stuff around the business and protect all your assets. And of course, that's what you were talking about.
One of the key words that people look up when they searching for estate planning or us, I would say it's the secure party creditor keyword. That's a keyword, or sovereignty.
Yes.
Or the so-called sovereign citizen. We stay away from that word. We stay away from the citizen word in the private sector. But to sum everything up, that's what it is. It's the private sector.
It is. I mean, you're just securing your assets and you having control of them instead of somebody else having control of them. You just don't realize that you're not structured that way. And, that's what I started to learn is I just needed to structure everything around business and a way to protect your assets. And I mean, everybody has the right to do that. And of course, if you can save money on taxes and stuff that way too, then, there's ways that you can save money. A lot of the bigger businesses and stuff, they already know these things.
All right. Now, I clearly remember when you came, you got it was called the Golden Ticket.
Yeah.
You got the Golden Ticket. We had the 2-day webinar in Atlanta last year. So it's ironic that we're about to have an Atlanta webinar in November. And one of the guys that was Nolan. So shout out to Nolan, man. He's not with us today. But
yeah.
Shout out to Nolan. He'll be there November 11th in Atlanta with Chief Amir. And what was the biggest thing you think you learned in Atlanta?
I realized how much more I needed to learn.
I remember we created a trust.
We did. And I didn't really understand completely at the time.
That was last year. But now you're operating under trust.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
We've created an unincorporated association.
Yeah.
So you're learning how to create your own government as well.
Oh, yeah.
You're learning the different jurisdictions about the government, tribal jurisdiction.
Yeah.
That's where we got Chief and Mayor.
Oh, yeah.
Private contracts, which a key thing to take away, I believe everybody should take away, is that the government cannot interfere with a private contract.
Oh, no, it's under the Constitution.
Article 1, Section 10.
That's right. So that's what you're doing is creating private contracts and controlling your assets that way.
So like we was talking about, we helped out Keon today and at the real estate office.
Oh, yeah, earlier today.
Yeah, and we got that tomorrow as well. But the key thing we showed him, because I brought it to his attention quick, because he said he was studying consumer law.
Oh,
and, that's a lot of work. So shout out to anybody that's putting in work and learning consumer law. But I said consumer law is just regular codes and statutes.
Yeah.
And you don't even need codes and statutes. So what law, when we set up the unincorporated association, what law was implemented when we established that with Truist Bank?
Oh, our governing law?
Yes. What was the governing law?
The governing law was universal law and the Holy Bible.
And common law.
And common law. Yes. That's right.
So no codes, no statutes.
No codes, no statutes. That's the way that business operates. I mean, which, most people should look at it and say, well, that's pretty honorable. So, you get to choose your jurisdiction. So why not choose God's jurisdiction?
Right. That's right.
Yeah. That's the best one to be under, I believe. So a lot of people don't realize that that's what they're doing sometimes whenever they form a trust. And then when it's just to protect their assets, their home and property, the things that they've worked to acquire, not to go out and bother anybody else, but to protect the things they've worked for. Everybody has the right to do that. It's just you got to learn how to do that. And
when you went and established the unincorporated association for the gifted guardians, what did the banker tell you about it? It's not interest bearing?
Non-interest bearing and no tax reporting.
No tax reporting.
That's right. No tax reporting.
So someone's starting off that's just now learning with us. What's the first thing that you would tell them to do? Like same way with today. What's the advice you gave him today?
Make his name a business.
Make his name a business.
That's the very first thing that you should do.
And how do we go about that?
Well, they already gave you a name and number. It's the Social Security number. So go and open up a business bank account with that name and number. And then now you've got a bank account that shows that name is a business, but you're using a business bank account instead of a personal bank account. So, of course, then you can start to use some of your family expenses as a family business expense and write those things off. So that's the easiest thing for somebody to first start off and do. And then you can get it recognized with the state with a DBA or an assumed business name. That way you've got some recognition with it. And that creates some separation between you and that name and Social Security number. So that's a good first step. And then you can start to learn about how to do other business things and start to change your perception on the way that you, instead of everything being personal, everything is about business.
Everything's business.
Then you can start to learn about a trust and LLCs and corporations and how to.
Nonprofits.
That's right.
508c1as.
Yes.
These are private ministry trusts.
Yeah. And I mean,
so my main things what I taught today. If you go on the LLC route, and there's different ways. We have established different ways to operate either anonymously or with minimum taxes.
Oh yeah.
So the first way I taught people was because you were talking about the sole proprietorship.
Yeah.
I tell people make their name a limited liability company.
Yeah.
And have a holding company establish this limited liability company. And the holding company needs to be in one of the 5 charging order protection states, which the 2 main ones are Nevada and Delaware.
Yeah.
Then we got Alaska,
I think New Mexico, Wyoming.
New Mexico is one you can remain anonymous.
Yeah.
But Alaska, yeah.
And Wyoming.
Wyoming for sure, yes.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, there's benefits to the laws and stuff in other states for your companies and stuff that you're going to set up. So, there's going to be times that you need to structure it that way to protect your assets.
Right.
I mean, that's everybody's right to protect their assets, but everybody don't seem to understand a first step into doing it.
The main key I want to break down. So with the holding company, we make sure it's manager managed. You can be the manager. Or I can even have you be the manager, appoint me as the new manager, and you can resign right away, and we don't have to update anything with the Secretary of State needs in these charging order protection states.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
And then the operating company say, I'm in Missouri. You make your holding company the single member of the operating company.
Yeah.
So you invoke those protections.
Yep.
But these protections is automatically implemented when you establish a 508c1a faith-based ministry trust.
Yep.
Or unincorporated association. It's automatic.
Yeah. Either one of those.
Right.
Yeah, it just depends on which way you want to do it.
And this helps with court, traffic tickets. As long as there's not a victim, it's not a real crime.
That's right. I mean,
it's commercial.
Yeah, everything is about money, commercial and stuff. I mean, they charge you. Ain't that a financial term, charge? So yeah, they want to charge you.
That's
it. They want to get a little bit of money.
So listen, there's a lot of people talk about the name being spelled in all capitalized letters. Does this make a difference?
Yeah, I mean it shows that it's a business.
It's in commerce.
Yeah, I mean
that's their rules, not ours, right?
That's right. It looks like my name, but it's spelled different. So yeah, I mean it's not you. It's a name and a number. It's already a business. It's just you've been claiming everything personal instead of claiming everything to be a business. You just have to change your perception about the way that you look at it. Because, I mean, I've got a company now and I buy toilet paper for that company for my employees and stuff. If my family is my business, then can I buy toilet paper and use it as a business expense for my family too? Yeah.
How I started making the family a business was with the 508c1a ministry trust.
Yeah.
I'm like, we pray over food. That's my congregation.
Oh yeah.
So that's how I had looked at it.
Well, you're supposed to have a personal relationship. That's going to start at home. So, isn't that where your ministry starts? From home.
And just like Russia, they have a prime minister.
Yeah.
Vatican is its own country. A lot of people got to realize this. So it's always been church versus state. Your state is its own country, considered its own country.
Yeah.
So that's when, and the reason why I'm bringing that up is because when you understand the contract law, you understand the rights. You don't have a right when you're an adjective. When I'm saying that, when you want to claim you're white, you're black, you're a color, that's not a nationality. That's an adjective. You're no longer a noun anymore.
Yeah.
This is a black microphone. Black is the adjective. Microphone is the noun. So black is an adjective.
Yeah.
That's just in the law's eyes.
Yeah. A lot of it's kind of hid in plain sight. Whenever you start to understand it, reading it, then you start to see more of what it means.
And so this is the way we give up our rights. Now, with that being said, the name is a business. Being black is a business. Being a color is a business called color of law.
Yeah.
So this is how they can take rights away from you. We got a class tomorrow, a webinar, Builds a Credit webinar.
Yeah.
So you want to elaborate on that, on basically on what you've been teaching?
Oh yeah, those bills are distribution checks from the investment security, the application that you give to them. So of course, what they do is they bundle those together and sell them, and they're sending you a dividend check.
So to put this in another terms, so to speak, when you only a president can approve a bill, right or wrong, or pass a bill.
That's right.
So anytime you get a monthly bill that you think is a debt, it's really a check.
Yeah, it's investment. It's the dividends and stuff off of the investment where they sold it on the market.
And this is the importance of keeping a trust or an unincorporated association, so you can deposit these.
Yes, if it's not structured right, then of course you can't utilize the benefits of it. So yeah, you've got to have your businesses structured right and those bills coming in the right way in order to really to do it the way that we're supposed to all know how to do it.
Let's talk about that mortgage letter I seen. Let's talk about the 2 mortgage letters. Tell me about your mortgage letters, man. What was you doing?
Oh, I was filing the right taxes and stuff on it to balance the books, and of course, then you get a tax rebate on that or tax credits, and then I was changing my mortgage. I put it over into my family trust, and so I was trying to update the monthly bill with the mortgage company. So I sent them the documents and stuff that they asked for, but then they came back and they really wanted me to show them more documents and stuff showing that I had an interest in the property.
I seen it ask for your birth certificate.
Yeah. They knew that the laws and stuff, I'd done everything.
Mr. Cooper.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, they never released the security interest in it with the original mortgage company. So yeah, I had to send them a letter to try to get them to release the security interest in it. And they got no record of me in their system at all. But
wow.
Yet it's still on the county record that they hold the security interest in it when they've sold the note. So they sold it, but they didn't, release the security interest in it. So I hold all of the security interest in it, and then I did the quitclaim deed to transfer the title over to the trust. And I mean, I did it all myself. I just read whenever I was trying to do it.
Right.
And not trying to do anything wrong.
By the way, we're not licensed attorneys or tax experts. We do this for educational and informational purposes only.
No, I mean, I can read definitions and words and stuff and start to learn. I mean, if you want to know more about banking, make a banker your best friend.
Right, that's right.
If you want to know more about.
And what's your banker's name? One of the best friends?
Oh, Amanda.
Amanda. Shout out to Amanda.
Oh yeah, she's great. She really is. I mean,
she helped us with the unincorporated association.
Yeah, everybody.
And all your trusts, your family trusts.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, she's helped me with a lot of those things. I mean, that's what they're for. That's what their job's for. So I mean, you don't have to know everything before you go in there and start talking to them, and plus, you end up making friends with people and stuff that's right there locally in your community and everything, and they might be doing some things that that would help them, and they see you doing it, and so it might help them as well.
Absolutely.
So I mean, isn't that what they're supposed
just
to
like
be
your
doing?
sons, Aiden and Jackson. Shout out to Aiden and Jackson. They've been helping with the business. Their names are businesses.
Oh yeah.
It was Jackson.
Yeah.
They took zero out of all of his checks. He wiped it out. There's no more taxes being taken out of his checks. No more Medicare. No more Social Security.
No, because we made his name a business. So now he's going to be responsible for all of his own taxes. And of course, he's got a business to do that with. And that's a good start for especially kids and stuff to start that way. So,
and he's 20?
Yeah, he's 20.
20.
So, I mean, it's like this. I told him, I said, whether what I'm trying to learn is right or wrong, I said, if you start to communicate with the IRS and stuff and have a business set up.
They're your friend.
I said, you're going to learn the right way.
Right.
Whether the way I'm telling you is right or not.
Don't be scared to talk to the IRS. They actually help you. They're the actual tax experts out here.
Yeah.
That's their job to help us with this, to help us balance the United States national debt.
Yeah, I mean that's what the people at the courthouses and stuff are there for. This like a county recorder's office. They have rules that they have to go by in order to record documents. That you don't have a lot of wasted space with paperwork that's hard to understand. So it's not my rules, it's theirs. So that's the best person to learn from whenever you go file a document or something. If they don't file it, maybe you've got something wrong, ask them. And then you can see what you need to do. So it's not like you're going to just go in there and expect them to file some documents that they can't file. Then you're mad and you're creating controversy, and they're really there to help you.
So, let's go back to November 11th, our event. What do you think people are going to learn from us all? First of all, what do you think you expect people to learn from you?
I try to get them, looking at things like from a basic business perspective first, from home, and once they can get that in their head, then they start to look at everything else as more like businesses. Then you can get more structured with corporations, LLCs, trusts, estates, and all those things. But just to get people looking at their expenses like their business expenses, because it's really just the way that you see it. And I mean, that's what really matters, is when you can see it, then you start to do something about it.
That's
right.
And
then you can kind of make your own path along the way. But you got to start somewhere. You got to take the first step. And I think that's making the name a business, and just knowing, go set a bank account up.
That's what I tell people to do first. Make your name a business. And, this can be used for a lot of different aspects. And I'm not telling everybody what to utilize it for. It's whatever your firsthand knowledge and beliefs, really, on what you understand and comprehend. But since making my name a business, I made my name a business in Missouri in 2018. I was able to get myself out of the federal penitentiary, state cases, tickets, debt, child support, you name it. And this is all on a court record.
Oh yeah.
You've seen my docket sheets. You've seen me get out of child support. You see me. This is what I do. And I also make my children's name the business. A parent is a pair who rents. Child means property of a corporation. That's your son or that's your daughter.
Oh yeah.
You're the father or you're the mother.
Yeah.
All these other terms are commercial.
Oh yeah. All of it is commercial. All of it is business. So, I mean, everybody's got to quit taking things personally and then start to look at everything from a business perspective. And then, you can do it the right way. Whatever your family's interested in, you can do that, because you're turning those activities and stuff into a business, a family business.
And there's more to it than just making your name a business. You have to understand there's an alter ego doctrine.
Oh yeah.
They've been enforcing that really lately since 2022. So you have to understand how to utilize a holding company or the unincorporated association or the trust correctly.
Yeah.
When you think of Michael Jordan or Donald Trump, those are business names.
Oh yeah.
Not only they're the personal names, they're business names. So I guarantee people look to sue them all the time. So they're not even going to hold personal assets, especially with anything with their name on it.
Oh no, they're going to separate themselves from all those things, because you don't want the liability, So of course you want to put it in some type of business structure. I mean, that's what everybody does. If you talk to somebody that does real estate, a lot of people would tell you for every property that you buy to have a different LLC.
Right. That's the Clint Coons way. Shout out to Clint Coons.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's where I learned charging order protection. He does business and real estate. He's a business and real estate lawyer. So,
but, by the time you get to that point, if you start with making your name a business and taking care of all your things at home, then those things start to make a lot more sense, and it's easier to understand. So then you know which avenue you want to go with it. Then you can know, well I want a LLC, or, you may not be investing in something that, things that aren't real expensive. So, it may not matter as much.
Right.
Depending on how you want it structured. Those questions are a lot easier to ask whenever somebody has some foundational principles with it.
And if you're new to this, Google who owns the United States national debt.
Yep.
It belongs to the Social Security Trust Fund. People got to understand that the government's running off something called full faith and credit. The in God we trust is real trust.
Yeah.
Fiat currency is not lawful money. Gold and silver is lawful money. So we're living in a credit system. That's part of the matrix. Part of the matrix is the paperwork game. Part of this accounting system that we're living in. And it's been going on for thousands and thousands of years.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's been around, this old law merchant.
Yes, the law merchant. Dealing with certificates, the birth certificate. It ties back to Roman law.
Oh, yeah.
Canon law.
It's in the Bible. It talks about the bondwoman. It's a birth bond. But, somebody else, has that documented. So you got to create your own stuff and stop using everything that was given to you.
We talked about that today, too, which is patents of nativity.
Yeah.
Affidavits of birth.
Yeah.
What else did we? Family Bibles work for identity.
Yeah, that's what everybody used to use. You wrote it in your Bible and you took it to the county recorder's office and recorded it.
Instead of what would Jesus do, we could say, what would the Amish do?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because they stay outside the scopes of the government.
Yeah.
What would the Jewish do?
Yeah. They stay outside.
They stay outside the scopes of the government. And their law, because when we was talking about our Constitution, is outside the scopes of codes and statutes. Jewish law is outside the codes and statutes because they're still following the Torah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what the Amish code is.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know where they get their law from.
I'm not sure. I haven't really looked into it.
But just like Jehovah's Witnesses, they got their own. So Freemasons.
Oh, yeah. All these are just business structures.
That's it. Private.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not anything wrong to...
The Judges Association.
Yeah.
That's in Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
It's traced back. Anytime you deposit money into a court, it gets... You trace it back. That's why you should use a check or a money order so you could trace it.
Oh, yeah.
It gets deposited into the Judges Association Puerto Rico. You bring this up in court, you get that case dismissed.
Yeah. They don't want to talk about that.
Put that under affidavit of truth.
Yeah. Yeah, people need to understand how the courts and everything work, and if they understood those...
Full faith and credit, if they understood how that worked.
Yeah. Yeah.
They ask you, do you understand your charge? You're the one issuing the power every time.
That's right.
You never ask if this is a lawful judge. This is the court of record. We always say we understand. Signing plea bargains.
Yeah.
You make a plea. Plea means to beg.
Yeah. Yeah, we don't understand the words that we're using.
At all.
None. That's what gets people in trouble because they don't understand
right.
the
And that's
words.
on the record. They put it on the record.
Yeah.
The record is like their word is bond. If it's on the record, that's like their Bible. That's like their public Bible.
Yeah. Yeah.
Their family lineage.
Yeah. And see, how does the state know anything about you when you've never communicated?
Voluntarily.
Yeah. You got to, recording a DBA, doing business as. When you do that, you're letting the state know that your name is a business.
That's it.
So now you got a document. So if you had to go to court, you got at least one document that's, recorded. But you could get a second one, go to a different state, get a second one, because you're supposed to have two witnesses. So that gives you two witnesses that your name is a business.
And since making your name a business and doing these things, you've come into a newfound credit.
Yeah, tax credits.
I'm talking about Bank of America is offering you credit, lines of credit.
Oh yeah, business credits.
Business credits, okay.
Oh yeah, it's a lot more than when you go get business credit than personal. Probably.
I seen that American Express card today.
Yeah.
It names a business.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I mean you get it's probably 4 to 5 times.
Right, of course, yes.
Yeah, so if you'd normally get $1,000 for personal credits, you'll probably get $10,000 for business credit, and you can utilize that to go out and start whatever type of business that you're operating. You still have to be smart with it until you learn more about filing taxes and things like that to make sure you don't overextend yourself. Got to work your way up. It's baby steps.
Okay,
but you got to start somewhere. That's a good start. At least then you're filing your own taxes and stuff, and somebody else is not having to do it for you.
And anybody that's skeptical, because people have been skeptical. There's been a lot of
Yeah.
A lot of shade thrown, especially on my name, Don Kilam. So anybody that's skeptical, can you tell them why do you rock with Don Kilam?
We'll be back after a quick break.
There's no such thing to practice law. It's called a bar card or a British accredited registry card. They take an oath to uphold rules to the crown, which is in Britain. So there's no such thing to licensed practice law. If you look up Abraham Lincoln, he was a lawyer. He wasn't an attorney. So attorneys might have to be licensed, but there's no such thing as a licensed lawyer. Again, it's called a British accredited registry. It's part of a membership. It's like a fraternity, like the Freemasons or any other private club or community that you'd be part of, that you have to show your private membership. And this is what they do. Everybody go to onlyfans.com/Don Kilam. That's onlyfans.com/Don Kilam. That's DonKilam. You can subscribe there and get access to Don Kilam University at donkilam.com. You can also follow me on the Instagram at DON_KILAM. Again, that's DON_KILAM. Much peace and love.
Well, because you said from the beginning, it's all about business, and so I just started to look at everything from the like a structured business corporation or LLC, and it made me start to understand everything better.
And when you say everybody that has a business or has the business mindset, they understand it better as well.
They do. It's easier to.
Your name's a business.
Yes.
If you have to prove who you are, then that's not you. Like before I cash a check, when we used to get paper checks, you have to prove that's you, right? You have to, I don't have to prove I'm Don Kilam.
Yeah.
Some people just send me the money.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
you got to prove everything else.
So that's when I looked at it like, that's not me.
Nah, man. I mean,
it's a position.
Yeah, it is. That's why, you want to be a business.
That's it. Out the gate, as soon as you're born, your name's a business. They're getting paid off it. The hospital's getting paid off it. As soon as you wake up, they're getting paid off your name. You told me this, turn on a light switch, the water faucet, you're getting charged.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, your power don't shut off and cut off at a certain time and then come back on. It stays on all night and something's drawing electricity, so you're constantly having to pay an expense. So, I mean, make those expenses a business expense.
In the span of 2 weeks, since you've been helping me out, you've done about 60 calls?
Yeah, I think 60 or 65.
What seems to be the main concern?
The biggest thing is people changing their perception about and how to make their name a business. Once they understand that, then they start to understand the estates, trusts, and
it's
LLCs.
like invisible lines, invisible barriers.
It is. You have to get past that.
They think it's a lot, huh?
Yeah.
But they're already operating. People gotta understand you're already operating as a trustee for your name.
Some of it's so simple because we've been doing things that's difficult. It's hard to kind of go back and say, "Oh, that's all I had to do." So it's easy to overlook it because we've been running LLCs and corporations.
Not to throw this for a left curveball or anything like this, but I literally explain this. If you understand voodoo, how they use dolls and it's supposed to make people do things in the real world, this is what they're doing with paper.
Yeah. Yes,
it's piece of paper. You're chasing shadows. That's really not even your real shadows. The shadows that they're creating for you.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, if you look at it, it's just a piece of paper.
That's it.
Yeah. All the words and stuff you may not understand that's on it, but it's still just a piece of paper.
Conversation runs the nation.
Yeah, it does. That's why we're here today, to have some conversation.
Yes, conversation runs the nation, man. Your word is your bond. You got to understand how powerful the word is. Your words can be your swords as well. It can hurt you or it can hurt the other person. And that's all court is. It's about a definition. That's all this matrix system is.
Yeah.
They
tell you
a dog can't read, so you can't give a dog a utility bill.
Yeah.
Yeah,
give you a piece of paper and because of what's wrote on it, that piece of paper controls you.
We play that position. It's like Monopoly, really.
Yeah.
A movie that explains it is Ted 2. You ever seen Ted 2?
Yeah.
The bear is fighting to become a person.
Oh, yeah. It's kind of what everybody's doing, fighting to become a business.
Yes. Silvermore 2. So if you look up Silvermore 2's, Your name is in all capitalized letters. That's why Capitol Hill owns it.
Yeah.
It's own nothing, control everything. Anytime you say that name is you or you accept liability for the name, you're obligated to pay its debt. It's already a sole proprietorship that you're obligated to handle its affairs.
Yeah.
Without you just automatically being in this game, you're a sole prop by having a birth certificate, Social Security card, and an ID. And on the flip side, that's also an unincorporated association because these are considered three persons. A corporation is considered a person. 28 USC 3002 subsection 14.
Yep.
Then 15A means United States corporation.
Oh, yeah. It says it right in the codes.
Everything is business.
Yeah. But, I've showed that to people before and they read it, but it doesn't really sink in.
The govern means to control, means mine. So you are the government, whatever you believe.
Yeah.
This is what people got. I understand it doesn't sink in because, first of all, I think you need to have a connection with your higher power, your higher self. You need to know your divine purpose.
Yeah.
Why are you here? So you can start living in your purpose.
Yeah.
Because when you know your purpose, you'll have something to protect.
Yeah, that's right.
That's your dream. That's protecting generational dreams right there.
Yeah, you'll know what your vision is and what you want to do.
Yeah, the people where you lack where the people lack vision, they perish. That's in the Bible. So if you don't know why you're waking up, you don't have any goals. What's the point in even trying to create anything? Especially if you're trying to run from something. I discourage those type of clients. Help me get out this court case, and they're running and they're panicking. You can never think clearly while you're panicking.
Oh yeah.
God is good all the time.
Well, everybody has something that they like to do every day. And, I don't really like to work inside all the time. I'd rather be outside. So, I mean, everybody serves some type of purpose. That's why they're here. And they just have to figure out whatever that is and structure it around a business structure. And then they get to go and do what they like doing every day.
Well, you're becoming very popular, man. People they can't wait to have brunch with J-May, man.
I know. Well, I've been saying that for years, I've been a celebrity my whole life. It's just everybody else didn't know it yet.
I didn't ask for this. I didn't ask for the fame. I just asked for the donations.
Yeah. You got a way with words to draw people to you.
Yeah, it just so happened, man.
Well, people start hearing those things that are truth and then seeing it and starting to make changes. Then, of course, they believe in what you're telling them then. It's proof.
So, there anything you want to, how we established Gifted Guardians, how we came up with this?
Really, that was you, man. We decided we were going to try to structure
Gifted
things.
Guardians. I mean, so instead of a trustee, you could be a guardian. A lot of people don't know that's a different verbiage for a trust.
It is.
Yeah, you can be a guardian, and if you need a legal guardian if you don't have any parents, right?
Oh, yeah.
All right. So that's what it is. We're gifted guardians. If it's not a tax, it's a gift. And that's what's going on. So you got to learn that gifts can't be taxed.
Yes.
That's what's going on in court. When you say you understand your charges, you're gifting things around. It's a gift unless you assess the tax. So another way to look at this, you have to understand when you go into a bank, they say debit or credit. So debit is subtraction. So when you're getting cash, that's a subtraction.
Yeah.
Or you're giving a credit.
Yeah.
So you got to learn how to assess these credits correctly, and we do this with 1099 OIDs and 1099 INTs.
Oh, yeah.
The OID zero coupon bonds, and that's the same way with the coupon bonds that's considered your bills of credit, your bills in the mail. They're considered zero coupon bonds as well.
Yeah, these are it's really the way that we're supposed to be doing it.
Right. Same one with your mortgage. It's something similar to the OID process will be the 1066.
Yeah.
The mortgage investment conduit.
Yeah, I'm not as familiar with it as you are with that one.
Yeah, I just use it in the dispute letters, really.
Yeah.
I tell them to fill it out. And then I attach the Form W-9 because I'm requesting the EIN information. And then when you understand the different types of money, you got the fiduciary money.
Yeah.
So this is why when we doing dispute letters, we're talking to the fiduciaries directly, the chief financial officers.
Oh, yeah, that's the ones to talk to.
Right. That's it.
Yeah, I mean, it's just it's the way that we should be doing these things. But, it seems like at times people think that that they're doing something wrong until they go and start to read it for themselves. And then they start to realize, like, hey, that's what this is saying.
Right. That's it.
And then they start to realize it for themselves, because everything that we've ever heard about, like the IRS, everything we've always heard was bad. But
Right.
in that gossip,
Right. That's gossip.
so, with court and stuff like that, people don't want to go into court and have a court assume something about them.
That's it. Assumptions.
But we're here assuming something about them because we hadn't set ourselves up properly.
Well, speaking of that, that's a fact can't enter a courtroom, so it is assumptions and presumptions that enter the courtroom.
That's right.
That enter the record.
Until
things that's on the record.
Yeah.
On or about this date, or he appears. The Earth's billions of years old. Who decided it's this year?
Oh yeah. So if
depends on your jurisdiction.
If you establish something on the record, then they can't assume anything anymore, can they?
That's it.
So if you've got a DBA recorded, that's the state recognizing your name as a business. So now they can't assume that it's not a business anymore, because you're at least starting to put something on the record. So if you do end up in a court situation and stuff, there's a separation between you and a business. So you can't be held personally responsible for it, because it's all about businesses in there.
That's it. Well, at the end of the day, my main suggestion for people is to learn this knowledge is to make sure they become part of a certain wealth group. There's private wealth groups out there. See the people that's actually out there in the wealth groups, not these gurus out here that's not actually doing anything, That's my main concern, because there's a lot of talk out there. There's a lot of people just talking and not actually doing. Learn how to research and do your due diligence and look people up, When it comes to taxes, when it comes to obligations, and these things are on public record. These are public knowledge. Even same way with UCC1, so everybody talk about the UCC1. This is not a freedom tool. I mean, you only control what you create. That's their document. So it's not a freedom tool. That doesn't actually make you free. That's evidence.
Yeah. A lot of times people it's
a financing statement.
They file a document, and then they, when I've talked to them and they said, okay, I filed this, and I listen to them and I say, well, now what?
Right.
And they say, yeah, now what? I said, exactly. I said, if you understand it from a foundation and start to work your way up, I said, then the complicated stuff doesn't seem so complicated anymore, because you know the basic stuff. And I said, but you got to start with the basic stuff. And as soon as they seem to get started on that, the sole proprietor, it starts to make more sense for them.
The name being the business.
It is. It's just like that, going back to the beginning. That's what the Bible says in the beginning. So you got to go back to the beginning when you first started dealing with money. You didn't know anything about it. You went into the bank and asked them for a bank account, and they asked you, they said, what kind of account do you want? And you said, I want to make everything personal.
Right.
Instead of business.
And you're using their forms and their documents instead of creating your own banking resolutions,
yeah.
Your own operating agreements, and these things. Government can't interfere with a private contract.
Yeah.
So one of the last things I do want to touch for sure is, a lot of people ask about the medallion stamps or the open up in a bank account with the Treasury. What has been your experience with that?
You just open up your bank or your account with the TDA, a TDA account, and then
Treasury Direct account.
Yeah.
You can do this online, correct?
Yes, it takes about 5 minutes to do it.
Just set up a regular trust account, no unincorporated association.
Yeah, and whenever you do, if you got a question about something, just call them and ask them.
And they'll answer it.
And that's right, because they're not going to give you the account if you don't put the information on there. So, if you got a question about something, call and ask. People, if you're nice to them, then of course they're going to help you,
right?
Because they want you want the account. Their job is to help you get it, but you got to give them some information to get it.
I want everybody to quit thinking that the government owes you. The government don't owe you anything. You owe it to yourself. Quit thinking the government's out to get you. They're not.
No,
nobody's out to get you.
They're doing it right.
Yeah, they do what you tell them to do, and the information you volunteer based on your understanding and beliefs in the system.
Yeah.
They're doing everything right, and the people are doing everything wrong due to their programming and indoctrinations.
Yeah, really. I mean, they need to go in there and start handling some of these things one step at a time, and they'll start to learn
Right.
how things actually operate, and they'll say, they were right. They are doing it right. I was doing it wrong.
That's the importance of why you should always invest in a private education.
Yeah. Yeah, if you get around the right group of people and stuff, you're going to start learning more of this information, and then they're going to help you along the way.
The public sector is owned by the government. Simple as that.
Yeah.
And it's never in your favor. There's not a history book. There's not a religious book that ever said that the government was for the people or help the people.
No, it was by the people. So the people.
By the people. That's it.
So
So just like what I spoke on the, we're not for any type of group or anything like this. I'm just speaking on it. We know that the Jewish have private schools.
yeah.
We know that the Amish have their own type of schooling, their own type of healthcare system.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they do.
And then in these communities thrive.
Yeah, they do. So you can structure yourself, however you want to. I mean, that's the way.
The private sector,
Yeah.
the public sector is owned by the government.
Yeah, it's like the Amish, they structure themselves privately, so they do their own thing and nobody bothers them.
And you can look up one of the forms. It's a form 4029.
Yep.
And then an IRS form 4361.
Yeah.
These are the forms they use, and they travel without identification.
Yeah.
They're able to go to Mexico and Canada with no passports.
Yeah, we just assume that we have to do these other things.
Right.
Because we didn't know there were other options available. And, a lot of people now are just learning the different options available, that the way they can set themselves up. And people think, I know at times people probably think that they're doing something a little sketchy, but you're not. If you're out there doing something wrong, you're going to get in trouble for it one way or the other. So if you're not doing it for those purposes, then you don't really have to worry about anything, because you're trying to learn how to operate properly.
Right. That's $1 million worth of game right there. Well, you can follow us, right? You can go to gifted-guardians.org, gifted-guardians.org. It's still in the works right now. It's under construction, but you can go. We got a event November 11th. You can go on the website and sign up for it now. We will be having consults and calls coming up on gifted-guardians.org. Or you can find me on Instagram, DON_KILAM. That's Don_Kilam, DON_KILAM on the Instagram. How can we find you, man?
Right now, it's just Gifted Guardians. Of course, we're going to be adding more stuff to the website and try to make it more diversified for everybody. So maybe a simpler way to follow information that they're trying to get, and have more things for them to choose from. And of course, I'm sure you're going to be writing some more books here in the future.
We got books coming out. We have the event coming out. We're working on membership, different tiers.
Oh yeah.
We're under the works, but just be looking out for all of our pages, whether it's Chief Amir, Nolan Zander. We're all on Instagram.
Oh yeah.
Jason's on Instagram. Just search Jason Mabe. It's Mabe Jason, right? On Instagram. Yeah. So just look us up. But giftedguardians@gmail.com. You can always email us there too. giftedguardians@gmail.com. Minister Mabe right here, Jason, he loves talking to you guys. He loves doing coaching calls. We're looking to have Nolan on the phone soon as well. I help out with the paperwork.
Oh yeah.
That's what I do. And what would you say your expertise is?
I don't know. I guess trying to make people, or helping people to understand what they're doing.
Yeah, from the very beginning.
Yeah.
I would say that you can bring people that can't see, you can make them see. Chief Amir, he handles private contracts. He's good with the spirituality aspect. He understands the tribal jurisdictions and religious jurisdictions.
Oh yeah, he understands those things
and
really
what would you say about Nolan? What's his expertise?
Nolan just wants to get in there and help wherever he can.
But he has trust. He has foreign trust.
Yeah. He really does. I mean, because he understands a lot of different things too. So you don't realize what all he knows until after you start to talk to him, and then you hear somebody ask him a different type of question, and it's like,
right, he's very adept.
He's talking about that too.
Well, Chief Amir and Nolan both they have military experience.
Oh yeah, so
and Nolan was very high ranking.
Yeah, Nolan's very detailed with a lot of his paperwork and things like that.
Intelligence officer, you said.
Yes, and if you give him a task, it's like, he's going to show up 15 minutes early.
So we got a strong, promising team. We got an event tomorrow in Atlanta. We're continuing traveling. We're going to be in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
Doing a podcast, doing events. So we're traveling, coming to a city near you. I've already been traveling. I've been doing this since 2018, coming to the public. But I'm looking to go more private. I'm working on movies, working on music. Music is really taking off right now. It feels great, man. Like he said, he's always said he's been a celebrity. I always wanted to do music. It's taking off. We're remaking a famous movie right now. We're going to start doing that in December. But it feels good. Celebrities are reaching out.
Oh, yeah.
They're backing us. You've worked with celebrities since rocking with Don Kalam. How's that feel, man?
It was neat, man. I got to talk to a few different ones.
We talked to one today.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, so that was amazing, man. I told him to get me on this podcast.
Oh, yeah,
He was playing golf, man.
So we need some more advertisement.
But we're definitely tied into a private network of multimillionaires. Some celebrities, and some of the most wealthiest people are not celebrities, you know. I got one of my private members. He's worth $15 million in Arizona. Yeah. He's not a celebrity whatsoever.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that you don't realize that you just normal everyday people that you don't realize.
You won't even know. You just look at them. They wear regular clothes, T-shirts, multi-millionaires.
Yeah,
powerful people, man.
Oh yeah.
So it's been great. It's been a newfound experience going through this. I appreciate everybody that's been rocking with Don Kalam since day one. And the next step then is Atlanta, Georgia.
Yeah, that's just a couple weeks away now.
Yeah, November 11th, we're in Atlanta, Georgia. So there's still some tickets left. Come have brunch with us. There's a few VIP tickets left. We're doing the next day brunch. Come learn the game, man. You want to get around like minds and see what they're doing and seeing what's working for them.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun.
That's it. With that, I'm out, man. If you got any last words,
I think that's it, man.
Go to gifted-guardians.org. That's gifted-guardians.org. Tap in now and understand that prosperity is truly your divine birthright. So protect them generational dreams with the Gifted Guardians.
Peace and love.
Much peace and love. It's your boy Don Kalam, and I'm out.
Are you ready to unlock the secrets of commerce and build an empire that lasts for generations? Look no further. Introducing $1 Million Worth of Game by Don Kalam, your official guide to the private and public side of commerce. In this groundbreaking book, Don Kalam reveals the strategies and insider knowledge you need to create and protect your wealth. Learn how to navigate the intricate world of commerce, master the art of building an empire, and secure a lasting legacy for your family. Get your hands on $1 Million Worth of Game today and embark on a transformative journey toward financial abundance. Don't miss out on the opportunity to build your empire and secure a prosperous future for generations to come. Get ready to conquer the world of commerce. $1 Million Worth of Game by Don Kalam, your ultimate guide to building an empire and leaving a legacy. $1 Million Worth of Game by Don Kalam. Available now. Get your copy and start your journey to generational wealth.